An object is thrown down from a height of 10 feet with a velocity of 36 feet per second. The object's distance from the ground s at time t seconds after being thrown down is given by the function s of t equals negative 16t squared minus 36t plus 10. How many seconds after being thrown down will the object hit the ground? So when the object does hit the ground, the object's distance from the ground will be 0. So when it finally hits the ground, its distance from the ground, which is given as s of t, s is 0. So if I replace s of t with 0, I get this equation. And I can use this to solve for t. I can use this and find the time when s is equal to 0. So in order to do that, I have to factor this equation. The greatest common factor, well, the largest number that goes into 16, 36, and 10 is 2. And since that first term is negative, I'm going to just factor out a negative 2 so that I can have a positive leading coefficient. So negative 2 is what I'm going to take as my GCF, and that makes the other factor, the trinomial 8t squared plus 18t minus 5. So that's the GCF being factored out, the GCF of negative 2. Then I need to factor that trinomial now. So I have a monomial negative 2 factor, and I'm going to look for two binomial factors of that trinomial, 8t squared plus 18t minus 5. Well, the 5, that's easy. It's a prime number. The only way of getting a negative 5 is either with a negative 1 and a positive 5, or with a positive 1 and a negative 5. So let's try this first. Let's try this orientation first. And then we just need to find factors of 8t squared. Well, factors of 8t squared, I could use t and 8t, or I could use 2t and 4t. I think I'm going to try for the 2t and the 4t. If I put the 4t here, and I put the 2t here, then the product of the outside factors will be 20, or the outside terms I should say, will be 20t, and the product of the inside terms will be negative 2t. When you combine those, you get 18t, which is exactly what we wanted it to be. We were looking for 18t. So this is the factorization. I have the correct factorization here. Now, all I have to do is set each of the factors that has a variable equal to 0. Negative 2 is just negative 2. It doesn't have a variable in it, so it's not one of the factors that I need to let equal 0. 4t minus 1, however, does have the variable t in it, so I set that equals 0. And 2t plus 5 also has the variable t in it, so I set that equal to 0. Solving that first equation, I can add 1 to both sides, and I get that 1 is equal to 4t. Then I divide both sides by 4, and I get that the value of t is 1 over 4. For that other one, I subtract 5 from both sides. I get negative 5 is equal to 2t. Then I divide both sides by t, and here I get that t is equal to negative 5 over 2. Now in terms of the question, we're asking how long after something is thrown downward will it hit the ground? So a negative answer doesn't make sense, because that would be before it was thrown down. So the answer here is a quarter second after it's thrown down is when it hits the ground. 1/4 second. And that's it.